Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing my first video for Altenew as part of their design team. So this one has already been up on the Altenew YouTube channel, so I know I'm not expecting you to go and watch it again if you have already watched it. So, or if you're gonna watch this video, you don't need to then go and watch the other one, but if you could sneak over there and give it a little thumbs up, that would be amazing. So this is the card that we're going to be talking about today. And I have fully embraced my theme of tip-top texture or total texture. So there's a lot of texture on this card. It's pretty high. I don't know if you can tell. There's layer up on layer, and I'm going to talk you through all of it. So we are going to go to the desk and make a beautiful mess. It didn't quite rhyme, but it was almost there, almost. And then I have actually made two different flowers. So you will see both of these ink blendings in the video, but I decided that this one just kind of looked prettier. And I learned something along the way with this one as well, where I tried to mix two different kind of shades and colors and be clever, and that did not work out. So memo to me and everyone, do this one, not that one. But you will see all of that in the video. And then that, I think, is it. Yes. So if you do want to do this design, you can actually make it quite a lot flatter, because I have used layers upon layers and foam tape. Yes. So you can actually make it relatively flat and post system friendly. But if you're gonna give it to somebody in person, go to town. Yeah, because a textured card is something to be happy about, I think, anyway. So with all of this jibber-jabber done, we are gonna head to the desk and we are going to get doing. Yes, I hope you enjoy. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. Hit that like button and leave me a comment down below. And if you can also do that on the Altenew video, you don't have to watch that one if you have already watched this one. And vice versa, if you've already watched it on the Altenew channel, you don't have to watch it again here. I mean, if you want to, sure, yay. But I mean, I'm not expecting you to, there's so many videos to watch, so why would you watch the same one twice? But I mean, the jibber-jabber will be slightly different, so it'll probably be a little bit crazier on this one, and slightly more to the point on the Altenew channel. Just a heads up. But yeah, anyway, so now for the third time, we're gonna go and we're gonna get making. Yes. So first, obviously, we're going to get our dies out, and this is the pink Star Tulip die set. It is gorgeous. It's beautiful packaging. I really do appreciate the fact that this is really nice and sturdy. It all stays together, and there's pictures on the front, there's dies inside, and then there's guides on the inside. So we are going to get all of these out, and then we're going to cut all of this out with my big platinum 8.5 die cutting machine. So I don't know why I cut the pieces of paper in half. For some reason I was like, oh, this will make sense, because then I know how much paper I need to use for each die piece. But it did not make any sense. But I think I decided to do that before I decided to use my big machine rather than my platinum 6. So maybe that's why. But anyway, we are going to cut out all of these pieces, and then we are going to use one of the new sticky mats or grip mats from Altenew as well. So I'm going to use the black one, and it's not quite in frame, I know. So we're going to stick our pieces down here, and look at that, sticky stick. Yes, I likey. And we are going to push all of our little pieces aside, make sure we keep them all together. So I have separated the pieces that actually go together. However, I then also, after I did the first piece, I was like, oh, you know what? We're going to do all the little pieces first. For some reason, I was like, this would make sense. Yes. So this is the flower that I then decided not to use. So I do feel like maybe it would have been a better choice to go for even a very, very light touch of the same purple here on the smaller pieces as well. I don't know exactly why I thought that kind of pinkish was gonna go so well. I think maybe if I'd gone for a more pinky color instead of the Cosmic Berry for the bigger pieces, it would have made more sense. But for some reason, my kind of color sense just went out the window. So for the leaves, I decided to skip the grip mat, which was, in hindsight, not a great idea. I should have used the grip mat again because it did turn out to be a little bit fiddly here. And I'm using one of the new micro blending brushes to add my color because I wanted to have a lot of control over like the color. So I want a lot of highlights on my leaves. For some reason, I don't know why, I didn't just kind of go for a very, very light color first and then add like the contrast with a darker color around the edges. But again, sometimes the creative process is very willy-nilly, especially in my craft room. So, but we are going to keep adding a color here and build up and just kind of see these leaves come to life. And then we're going to, there's two pieces that actually glue together. So with those ones, so this is the one I'm doing right now, and this one here as well. So they are actually going to layer on top of each other. So sometimes you just have to remember to check the pieces, where are they going, and then, you know, so that you get your colors right. Now we're going to put these together, and you can see here, it's very kind of clearly marked. And also something that I didn't realize until I actually got the pieces out, or had die cut the pieces, is that the keyhole system, super duper smart, is making it a total breeze to line these pieces up. And one smart thing to do as well is to add your little highlights before you like try to glue all your big pieces together. So here you can see that you have like this little arrow, so you cannot go wrong. So when you line these arrows up, your pieces are going to be perfectly aligned on the flower. And next to this little arrow, there will also be a number. So these pieces are numbered from 1 to 5. So there are 6 pieces, so the top one will not have a number on it, because obviously that one's going to be seen. But the rest of them have. So again, you cannot go wrong with this. This is such a smart system, and I had not seen this before. So this is one of the first sets that I actually have that has this keyhole system. I cannot tell you how much guesswork this has taken out of like puzzling the pieces together, because sometimes, you know, it's not so clear of what goes where and in which order. So this made it a total breeze. And you will notice for the second flower that I do, I actually remember to do like glue all of these pieces together first, as in like all of the highlights and bits and pieces. I did all that, and then I put them all together. It did make it a little bit simpler, I think. But how stunning is that? So the color is a little bit off on the highlights, but it's still pretty. Now we're going to make our background, and this is a linen textured gray cardstock that I found in a shop in Denmark. So this is like really, really old. And this is probably one of my oldest cover plates in my whole entire Altenew stash. This is the layered plaid cover die B. So there's 2. So there's an A and a B, so you can do like a layered look, but I only have this one. Now I do have a very smart trick here to get all of these little pieces out. So you can see I'm just using my tweezers here to kind of poke out the pieces through the top of the cover plate. So I don't know whether it's just the way I layer my sandwich, or if it's my die cutting machine just kind of losing pressure a little bit. But for some reason my die doesn't cut everything super, super duper great unless I use like a metal shim. So I find that if I just poke out all of the bits and pieces while the whole thing is inside of the die, it just works so much better. Now I have got 2 pieces cut out. I will actually add the third one on top as well. And I'm just adding a little bit of liquid glue. So I think liquid glue is like the key when you're layering pieces, because you do need those like few extra seconds to kind of line everything up, so it doesn't just kind of grip and stick and then you're done. So we are going to add tiny drops of all of this, like on the skinny pieces, tiny, like, I mean, you just want to touch so that it gets a tiny bit, and that's it. Because once you put the pieces together, there quite often will be a little bit of spillage. So if you don't want any spillage at all, you're going to have to be super, super careful. So we're going to, again, add more glue, and then we're going to add this directly to our gray textured cardstock. And then, as I mentioned, I will add a third one on top, because I realized that one of the top piece was actually had been slightly sort of cut off, and I wanted it to be perfect. So I added a third one on top. And that is how I got all of this lovely layered texture. So, I mean, this just, so good, so nice. And it's so tactile as well. It feels really great to actually touch it. Now, this is my second flower that I will actually put on this card. And I have used, I want to say, purple vine or purple wines on this one. So it's a little bit deeper colored. And then the smaller sort of highlight pieces that I'm gluing on now, they are also done in the same ink shade, but I have just kind of ink blended with a lighter touch to kind of, you know, still, so they're the same color, but they're just a lighter touch. So I think this worked out so much better. And I do think that when you're adding, you know, when you're doing this kind of layering die cutting, and it just makes so much more sense to finish all your little pieces or your separate pieces and then layer them together on to actually make the flower. So these 4 pieces have got like highlights, and then number 3 doesn't, and then number 6 doesn't either. So now we're gonna do the whole gluing again. And again, I mean, I just can't get over how easy this is to layer up. I mean, it's just like all of the guesswork completely gone. So here, all you gotta do, find your arrow, find your number, and then number 1, yeah, lay it down with number 2, boom, there you go. Easy peasy. I mean, so easy, so good. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I need to stop like fangirling over this now, because it's just clever, it's super smart, it's genius, big fan, 5 stars. So now we're just gonna add this together, and whilst this clip itself is sped up like to twice the speed, I think, I mean, you can still tell it's really, really, really fast. And yeah, can't get over how easy peasy it is. Just boom, there you go. Super pretty flower. And then I thought, you know what? It's really pretty as it is, but we can make it prettier. So we are going to add a little bit of gold sparkle on this. Yeah, we are. And I will remember to add my splatter box. And then I am using my Curate Tambi Starry Colors color palette, because I don't actually have the Altenew metallic color watercolors yet. But look at that. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And I think it would look super nice as well with like a pink metallic watercolor. So yeah, I will definitely be trying that sometime too. But now we're going to take our one pretty flower and then a lot of leaves. I made a lot of leaves, yeah. Because I do like, you know, like foliage on my cards. And then our super nice textured background and a pretty sentiment. So I do really, really enjoy a good sentiment die cut or a word die cut. So we're going to start to puzzle this together. So no glue or adhesive yet. So we're just going to pretty much like place everything on the card how we want it. And the reason I've even put that word sentiment die on there as well is to make sure that everything is sort of like the leaves are not kind of completely being covered or anything like that. And I wanted this, like that little gap there, to be filled with some greenery rather than like the background. So that's why I put that little one in there. And then we're going to, instead of using the press and seal trick, we are going to just lift these a little bit and add some glue. And then on the back of the flower, we're actually going to be using some foam tape. So we're going to be using Altenew's Instant Dimension foam tape. And I have a little trick here. So this is some like backing tape of some double-sided tape. So I'm putting my foam tape on top of that, and it just makes it so much easier to cut out because the stickiness of the foam tape doesn't stick to your scissors. So, I mean, even when you have those like coated scissors, sometimes it still sticks and it just makes a mess. So this is one way of avoiding that mess. And I know I'm putting a lot of foam tape on here, but I don't want my flower to sag. A saggy flower is just kind of sad, isn't it? So we're going to really prop this up because, again, dimension, layers, yay! So once all of these backings have been removed, we're going to very carefully place our flower onto our card. And then we're going to do the same thing with our sentiment die cut here as well. So we're going to add a little bit more tape, take a little bit more of that backing tape, and we're going to put this on the back of our sentiment. So if you're placing a sentiment over a flower or something else that is already raised up, you're going to want to be careful how you place your foam tape. So I did actually peel off the top bit there to make sure that it doesn't sort of like go wonky on the card. And then we're going to press this down and add it to the card. And I could have stopped here. I could have. But did I? No. No. So we are going to be adding a little bit of bling-a-ling. And we're going to be using these gem sparkles. And this is the smoky quartz. Now I was thinking that maybe that middle color would look really nice because of that kind of gray background. But then I thought, no, we're going to use these iridescent ones. Yeah. But you will be shocked because I have not gone completely like over the top cray bonkers with my bling. No, I have only put, I think, 6-7 pieces on there. 7. Yeah. 7. I mean, that's got to be a record low number for me when it comes to the bling. Because I do tend to go big with the bling. Yes. But for some reason, I felt very restrained. Almost like normal level bling person today. I don't know whether it's because there's like sparkle on the flower. I think the sparkles on the flower help. But yeah. I'm not going to dwell too much into that because I think that's going to be a rabbit hole for sure. But I did add a few of these, and then I decided, you know what? We're gonna leave it like this. Yeah. So that is my first card for Altenew's blog and YouTube channel and my own. Completely done. So I really hope you have enjoyed this video. You have, picked up a thing or two along the way and maybe learned from some of my mistakes. And yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this. I really like how it turned out. I must admit, I'm quite a big fan of this card. I might keep this for myself, like as my kind of ode to myself. Yes, I made it onto the Altenew design team. Okay, so there it was. I didn't manage to make it through the video without squealing, but oh well. There we are. I will see you very soon again. Bye for now.